This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a call goes out for citywide support as some residents struggle to recover from last year's floods. A local MP vows to continue the fight to save jobs at Invermay despite the government's restructuring plan. And we'll find out why a visiting Buddhist monk says there's much more to their teachings than meets the eye. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. There are calls for citywide support of South Dunedin in its ongoing efforts to recover from last year's flooding. Today marks 1 year since the floods caused millions of dollars worth of damage to the suburb and its surrounds. But despite the time passed, residents say there's yet to be much more progress.
Surveying the currently dry streets. It's been a year since the South Dunedin community was hit by severe flooding, caused in part by a collection of failing mud tanks. It's something Dunedin South MP Claire Curran wants to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Being reassured essentially by our City Council that those things will be fixed, will be maintained, and that situation won't happen again. So that's kind of first priority because there's a lot of stress in the community.
The June floods caused an estimated $138 million worth of damage in Dunedin, with the majority of that centred in and around South Dunedin. Residents say despite the area appearing to have recovered well, many people are still dealing with the aftermath.
The progress here, it was really horrible.
Well, I work in South Dunedin, but I haven't heard of any progress, to be honest. So still waiting to hear from the council if they're going to be doing anything about it.
I don't see any progress. It just carries on like it. I don't think Dave Cole cares.
Curran is calling on the whole city to get behind the area as residents look to council and government for support in flood-proofing the suburb. She says it's about wanting the area restored and infrastructure upgraded, but also seeing investment in new developments.
There needs to be a longer-term commitment to the future of South Dunedin, that it is seen as a viable part of the city, that it is supported, and that the city and all the councillors and the mayor actually are prepared to say that.
The newly formed South Dunedin Action Group is currently in the process of pushing for a short-term action plan. It's aiming to ensure the suburb's infrastructure is up to scratch before the winter weather truly takes hold. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Police are increasing their watch on traffic and road-related operations over the long weekend. With roads expected to be busy, they're cracking down on high-risk driving behaviour. A reduced speed limit tolerance is in force, and anyone travelling more than 4 kilometres over the speed limit can be ticketed. Officers say with lower temperatures and unpredictable weather likely, more planning is needed by drivers this winter. Last Queen's birthday, 5 people were killed and 28 seriously injured in more than 100 crashes recorded nationwide. Dunedin North MP David Clark is vowing to continue the fight to save jobs at the Invermay facility near Mosgiel. 56 jobs are set to be cut as part of an updated restructuring plan announced by the government this week, but there is hope that the decision can still be overturned.
Grim reading. Dunedin North MP David Clark is continuing his campaign to have the government reconsider cutting staff at Invermay near Mosgiel. 56 jobs are to be cut as part of an updated restructuring plan announced this week by the government, something Clark says is devastating news for Dunedin.
Look, I think this is incredibly short-sighted. It's bad for Dunedin, it's bad for New Zealand. Overall, this will mean that scientific capacity will continue to drop in the sector. We've lost people overseas already. They aren't shifting to Lincoln. In preference, they're going overseas.
Clark says in the past, Invermay has been a facility that people specifically moved to Dunedin to work at. But he says with all the changes being made, people are now simply moving away.
They came to Dunedin because these were the best jobs in that industry, the opportunity to make a real difference in terms of sheep meat productivity and other genetic advances, and now they're just leaving. It's really bad for Dunedin. These pay packets will not be spent here. Instead, some people are going to Brazil and other places, and that's just disappointing.
Clark says the latest report, signed off by Science and Innovation Minister Stephen Joyce, is almost identical to one that was discredited by the Auditor-General in 2014. The new report mentions leasing space at Invermay after the facilities have been moved. Clark says the sentiment is a familiar one, with similarities to leasing out hillside workshops, which remains mostly empty to this day.
Some of the assumptions are absolutely heroic. They're talking about leasing the facilities to third-party tenants once they've cleared more people out. They've already struggled to put third-party tenants in there now. So the business case doesn't really stack up. It never did. And the advice from the scientists inside Invermay was to keep this because this is where it works best. Most of New Zealand's genetic expertise is spread between Otago and Invermay in the animal genomics area.
He lays the blame for the threat to this directly on Science and Innovation Minister Stephen Joyce.
Well, the people who have rewritten this report were under instructions, no doubt, from the Minister. The material with this makes clear that the Minister has had his say. He's been sitting on the report for months. He sat on the report last time for months, and the only reason a Minister would do that was if they weren't up with the play or they were trying to influence the process.
The Ag Research report recommends that just 38 people remain working at the Mosgiel facility that once employed hundreds. Daryl Baser, 39, Dunedin News.
Police are seeking a man believed to be responsible for breaking into 2 cars using a rock. A member of the public informed police of a man in his 40s attempting to break into a car parked in South Road yesterday afternoon. Officers arrived just after 2 p.m. to find 2 cars had been broken into, but it's unknown whether anything was taken. The suspect is described as a Caucasian male of slim build and wearing a cap. He was seen running off towards the Kensington Tui club rooms. A visiting Buddhist monk is encouraging residents to look beyond the stereotypes of the practice. The teachings of Buddhism tend to promote mindfulness and a peaceful way of being, but she says there's much more to it.
It's a common misconception of Buddhists that they're all peaceful and happy all the time. However, visiting Venerable Buddhist monk Robina Curtin admits she can often be an angry person, but says she's comfortable with her emotions. And she's pleased to have found who she is through Buddhist teachings.
They suggested, how about looking at your mind, Robina? How about looking at the mind in general, starting with your own? How that informs everything. And that I never thought about. That was a brand new idea for me, to start looking at my own mind itself.
Curtin's in town as a guest of the Centre for Peace and Conflict Studies at the University of Otago. Student Jo Llewellyn wanted to bring her here to find out about her history and her spiritual journey, and she kindly obliged.
You know, there's this nice saying that a bird needs 2 wings, wisdom and compassion. So the compassion wing in the end is a political wing. It's people dealing with human beings, dealing with the world, dealing with the suffering of beings, animals included, you know.
She says in order to be of any use to others and to teach them about understanding, a person needs to first understand who they are themselves.
Help a person play football, you have to learn football first. Help a person understand suffering, you have to understand your own suffering first, because it can't be separate. You know, we're all part of the human race, we're all part of the same thing, you know, we're all in the same boat.
This afternoon's event was Curtin's last talk in Dunedin, after several other engagements during the week. Daryl Baser, 39, Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we'll find out which club is winding down after almost 50 years, and Matariki is set to light up the night sky, and more. Details soon.
Junk-free June is about making a change that makes you healthier and happier. Kick the junk or that bad habit during June and you'll be helping yourself and supporting the Cancer Society. Get others to support you and get rewarded with discounts on some great products and services too. Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started. You'll be doing good for you and for local people affected by cancer.
Come one, come all to the Lana Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July. Get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.lanarkcastle.co.nz.
We're at 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
It's on again. The Star Regent 24-hour book sale starts noon 10th of June. Don't miss out!
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up chocolate.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30pm till 9pm. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins and we've got them all on special. Check out these, Tussock Creep, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buy, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
To the people we meet on southern skies. Take your place, take your place, take your place, take your place in the world.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up the couch.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Welcome back. The country's fruit exports are propping up the economy while dairy values remain largely unchanged. Overall goods exports rose 1% last month, up $179 million. Horticulture prices led the increase, gaining just over 6% with the start of new season crop sales. The seafood and forestry sectors also fared well, with increases of around 1% respectively. Meanwhile, dairy prices were stable, while aluminium prices slipped 1%. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 21 points, it's now at 7,024. The Dow Jones is up 49 points. And to the exchange rates, and the Kiwi dollar closes the week up against all the major currencies we follow. A charitable group with a long history is calling it quits after almost 50 years of service to the community. The club, currently known as Event Traffic Management, has been struggling to find enough new volunteers to keep going. And club member Arthur Driver joins us to talk about the end of an era. Good evening.
Good evening.
What role has the club played in Dunedin over the years?
Well, we started off as a Takasibi club and did voluntary work with communications for people. And then eventually we got into road work and did the necessary stuff there. And we did a lot for the DCC and a lot of the other charity organisations.
And it's all voluntary work that you were doing?
All voluntary work.
Wow. And why is it winding up after all this time?
Well, thing is that age is one thing. I'm in 92 and there's about 4 in the 70 to 80 bracket. and we just can't get volunteers, younger ones.
Was it a tough decision to make?
Yes, to me it was, but not to some of the others.
Now, how has the club changed during the nearly 50 years it's been around?
Well, it's had its ups and downs, and it went from just ordinary radio communications to road control and everything like that, and we really enjoyed it. But the time has come now with some of them with medical problems and no ones coming along, that we pull the plug.
When did you join the group?
I joined in 1977.
Oh, wow. And why did you decide to join?
Well, I was originally in the Air Force during the war, and I was on radio and that sort of thing, and the Citizens Band radio was available, and we used it, and we found that with skip running we could talk to people overseas. So, and then of course all we use the radio for now is safety of our people and the public.
What were some of your favourite events that you've attended and managed traffic at?
Well, we've done the Winter Festival up in Queenstown a couple of times. We've done 2 or 3 of the last of the festival road races, and we have done, we won't be doing it this year, but we had done the Midwinter Festival, and we also did the New Year's stuff up in Queenstown and Wanaka. And also we've had 2 big films, Out of the Blue and The Bride Flight.
Wow. So it's certainly taken you around the place.
Yes.
So what are you going to miss the most about not being in the group any longer?
Less work.
I think you've earned that. Do you plan to keep in touch with the other members?
Oh yes, I'll keep in touch with them because we're all friends.
Well, thank you very much for the work that you've done over the years, Arthur Driver and your other volunteers from Event Traffic Management. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, we'll check out the lineup for Maori New Year and we'll take a look at the results of our online poll.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up the couch.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins and we've got them all on special. Check out these, Tussock Creep, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buying, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Come all to the Lanark Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July, get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.lanarkcastle.co.nz. Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
128 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL digital console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up chocolate.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Welcome back. The city is set to be adorned in displays of Maori culture as the Maori New Year kicks off next week. Monday marks Matariki, where constellations rise and light up the sky, representing the new year for the Indigenous culture. But the stars won't be the only thing lighting up Dunedin.
Preparing for month-long festivities, organisers of the annual Puaka Matariki Festival are getting ready to welcome the Māori New Year.
We have a 3-week program kicking off today in Dunedin. Includes events across 3 main ideas. That Matariki is a celebration of the Maori New Year, and so you'll see events at the marae, at local schools and at our early childhood centres.
The festival is running throughout the month of June, showcasing the best of the Māori arts and culture. The literature and art events, workshops and performances are all planned to help the city celebrate the occasion. As part of the festival, the Octagon's fountains will be lit up at night to represent the stars of Matariki.
I just hope that it makes them feel something or think something. I just hope that it makes them think about stars and our place in the universe and our place on the planet.
It's the 8th year the annual event has been run in the city. Organisers are keen to point out that it's not just Māori who can celebrate Matariki, as it's a part of all New Zealanders' identity.
It's the middle of winter, we've got so much to look forward to when the sun starts to come back. It connects us back to traditions that are unique to here. Let's celebrate it as the New Zealand New Year.
The festival will run until the end of the month. Annabelle Dick, 39, Dunedin News.
The National-led government has released details of its 8th annual budget for the coming financial year. It's giving the Southern District Health Board a record amount of funding, totalling $884 million. This week's 39 Dunedin News online poll asked if you care about the budget. Only 66% of you do. Well, this week marked World Smoke-Free Day, an initiative designed to promote the smoke-free lifestyle worldwide. It comes as several local healthcare professionals continue their campaign to make parts of the city, including the Octagon, smoke-free. Next week's 39 Dunedin News online poll asks if you think smoking should be banned in the Octagon. You can vote at our website, dunedintv.co.nz. And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. The anniversary of last year's flood is prompting a call for citywide support of South Dunedin in its efforts to bounce back. Dunedin North MP David Clark is slamming the government's decision to axe more than 50 jobs at Agriculture Research Facility Invermay. And a visiting Buddhist monk is sharing her knowledge and experiences with the city's students as an invited guest of the university. Well, it's time now to find out what's going to be in the Otago Daily Times for the weekend, and Dave Cannon joins us. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm voting for the smoke-free Octagon, by the way.
Same.
And the smoke-free Library Plaza as well.
Just smoke-free streets everywhere.
Correct. As you mentioned before, 1 year, the anniversary of the South Dunedin flood, so we're having a look at that in depth tomorrow, plus also the anniversary of the appointment of the Commissioner for the Southern DHB, which has been fairly contentious, as you might know. A couple of news stories. We had a big court case today, the Singaporean driver that was involved in the fatal up near Herbert sentence today. and there's been a bit of mayhem in the Waitaki Boys High School playground, which we've got some coverage of. The weekend mix, of course, this weekend it's Queen's birthday, so we thought we'd have a story to mark that with a story about why monarchy is so important, why we need the Queen. Why do we need the Queen? So we're looking at that in some depth. Looking at Richard Pearce again, the famous aviator. Did he fly before the Wright brothers? The old argument's been revitalised. And the mix also looks at the history of the Flying Nun music scene as well. So a big bumper issue this weekend.
Plenty to keep you busy.
More than enough.
Thank you, Dave. It's tomorrow's ODT. Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
Here is our city view. It's taken of a rusty shed in Caversham with some artwork on the side. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, a magic number. Unlucky for some. It's lucky for me, I must say, though. 13 degrees recorded everywhere. To the situation, and an anticyclone will move slowly over the country this weekend, which is quite good news, especially if you're heading out of town. If you're heading to Invercargill, Gore or Alexandra, it's going to be fine with 11 degrees, and fine in Tiana with sou'westers and a high of 10. And a fine day is expected for Queenstown, Oamaru, Wanaka and Twizel, all on 11 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, remaining fine, but frosts are possible in sheltered areas. Tonight's low could get down to -3. Tomorrow and Sunday, fine and sunny with frosts possible at night. We're expecting 11 degrees both days. Take your pick for washing day. And finally to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. Low tide tomorrow morning is at 8:30 in fact, and high tide on Sunday afternoon is at 3 o'clock. And fishing conditions are a write-off for the weekend. Well, that is all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for this week. We're on holiday on Monday for the Queen's birthday. Thank you for that. And we'll see you again on Tuesday. We'll leave you now some shots of the week that was, and have a lovely weekend. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.